Can you please state and spell your first and last name?
Thomas Miller, Thomas-Miller.
Thank you. Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God?
I do.
Okay, around the full order of the ring.
Would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Special Agent Thomas Miller with the Drug Enforcement Administration.
How long have you worked for Drug Enforcement Administration?
Approximately 27 years.
What do you do there?
I currently am the unit chief of the National License Plate Reader Program for the DEA.
Can you tell us what the National License Plate Reader Program is?
It's a law enforcement tool that was developed and utilized by the DEA to enforce its Title 21 statutory authority to facilitate drug trafficking investigations and any other drug-related crimes in the drug trade.
So in there we hear the term license plate reader. What is that? What is a license plate reader? How does that work?
It is a camera that we normally have positioned on any known drug route utilized by drug traffickers. A lot of the LPRs have a software. It's called optical character recognition, or better known as OCR. What this OCR software allows the LPR camera to trigger on the alphanumeric characters on a license plate, and it will create an image or images, and simultaneously it will also create a XML or a textual file. And at that time, the images and the text file are then paired up and is then saved in the DEA server.
Okay. You used the term LPR. Is that shorthand for something?
Yes, a license plate reader.
Okay. So it's easier for us to say LPR.
Yes.
Is there a system called Diesel that relates to the National License Plate Reader Program?
Yes, Diesel is our tactical query and alert system, and it stands for the DEA Special Intelligence Link, and that's how we access the information that is saved from the LPR cameras.
Okay. So can law enforcement agencies outside of the DEA access this Diesel system to determine if any of the cameras have caught a specific license plate?
Yes. The El Paso Intelligence Center, where the Diesel platform is located, they will vet state, local, tribal, and other federal law enforcement personnel to have or gain access to our Diesel platform.
Okay. So certain law enforcement agencies can get access to Diesel to see if a license plate has been read on any of the cameras.
Yes, as long as it's they're ingested into our Diesel platform.
And by ingested, what do you mean?
After the LPR camera that does feed into the Diesel platform, it will go into the Diesel platform where they can access that.
Do all of these license plate readers capture like just a photo of the license plate, or is it the vehicle? What are we getting in this system?
Depending on the vendor camera and the OCR, or the optical character recognition software, it will sometimes give you a visual of just the plate, and then other times will be the back plate, possibly depending on the position of another camera, the front plate, and sometimes an overall picture of the entire vehicle.
Okay. So if someone is driving on an interstate where one of these license plate readers are located, depending on the camera, it may capture a photo of the vehicle and of their license plate?
Correct.
Okay. Do all of these license plate reader cameras just look at the back of vehicles?
No, a DEA will sometimes also place cameras that read the front license plates. Usually we do this more for tractor trailers or semi-trucks who have a front plate that is different than the plate on the trailer.
I want to talk to you about the license plate reader near Holbrook, Arizona. For that reader on the I-40, does that camera capture the front or the back, or what does that camera capture there?
It captures the back plate, and there's two cameras, one each covering the 2 lanes on that road going westbound.
Okay. I've shown the defendant Exhibit 121. My paralegal can approach. So if you can take a look at Exhibit 121, let me know if you recognize the affidavit as well as the documents associated with it.
Yes, I do.
And does that contain an affidavit authenticating those records as well as a diesel citing of a license plate from your National License Plate Reader program?
Yes, it does.
And that's kept in the normal course of business?
Yes.
State will move to admit pursuant to 803 and 902.
Objection?
Just relevance, Your Honor.
What was the number again?
121.
121's admitted. 121's admitted, sorry.
Oh, thank you. If I can have that to publish, please. All right. Let's start with the first page of this. So is this a document that's part of the National License Plate Reader diesel system?
Yes, it is.
So in this case, when we're looking at the top here, first we see plate. Is that the plate that's associated with this vehicle that we see here?
Yes, it is.
So that's LWD 0997.
Yes, and I believe that was a Texas license plate.
Then the location here, DEA FCU AZ Holbrook. Can you tell us what that means?
Depending on who the unit chief was at the time, they will name a camera, specifically if it's owned by DEA, a certain name, and a lot of times it will include at least a city or town that's fairly close to that location.
And is this license plate reader on the I-40?
Yes, it is.
And is this one located a little to the, I guess, west or east of Holbrook on the I-40?
Yes.
Okay. And then we see a time and a date. So is that October 1st of 2019?
Yes, it is.
And it's 6:52 Mountain Standard Time?
Yes.
At that time on October 1st of 2019, if we convert that to Arizona time, is it 5:52?
Yes, it would be that time of the year.
Okay. Over here we see highway name, you said I-40 westbound, and then direction giving us the westbound as well.
Yes.
In this photograph, we see the back of a vehicle with no tire on the back of it. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then was there a second page of this that gave a closer up of the license plate on this?
Yes, it does.
And is that what was documented in the citing details of a Texas plate LWD 0997?
Yes.
State has no other questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, cross.
Mr. Thomas, is that the only picture that you have in Arizona on October 1st of the Jeep Wrangler?
I'm sorry?
Is it the only picture, license plate reader picture that you have in Arizona on October 1st?
Yes, that's the only picture in our diesel platform.
Okay. And how many license plate readers do you have in Gilbert, Arizona?
I am not sure on how many we exactly have.
Do you have any?
Yes, we do.
There's one on Gilbert Road, isn't there?
That I'm not sure. We have over 11,000 cameras that feed into the diesel platform.
Okay. What about in Mesa, Arizona? Are you aware of any in Mesa, Arizona?
I am unaware how many cameras that we have in Mesa, Arizona. We do have quite a few cameras, LPR cameras in Arizona.
And so of all those cameras that you have along this way, when this incident happened in Gilbert, Arizona, you don't have any other pictures of this Jeep? Is that correct?
No, but there's several reasons why there may or may not be. A lot of times we do have software and hardware issues with our LPR cameras, so they will be down at times. Depending on speed, how old the camera is, sometimes speed and the amount of traffic will also have a bearing on whether or not an image is captured. And then there's ways to defeat LPR cameras as well.
There are ways to defeat them?
I'm sorry?
There are ways to defeat them?
Yes.
Interesting.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to that and move to strike defendant's comments.
The jury should disregard the noise that the defendant made after that answer. All right, go ahead and ask your
Sorry,
next
Your
question.
Honor. So, Mr. Miller, of all your cameras, you have no other pictures on October 1st, 2019 of that Jeep Wrangler, is that correct?
I'm going to object to asked and answered twice already.
It is asked and answered, but he can go ahead and answer one more time.
That was that transaction of the diesel sighting was the only one in diesel.
Okay, so on October 2nd, you have no other pictures of this Jeep Wrangler as well, is that correct?
I'm not for sure if that ever was ran. I'm not for sure. What does happen is DEA does have a retention policy where as information or data that goes into the diesel platform is then expunged or deleted or purged from the diesel platform after 90 days.
And you don't have any from October 3rd as well, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you don't have any from October 1st, October 2nd, or October 3rd, is that correct?
Not to my knowledge.
And do you know how far from Gilbert, Arizona, Holbrook, Arizona is?
I'm not for sure the exact distance.
Would you be surprised if it was 173 miles?
I'm going to object to speculation. The witness has already indicated he doesn't know.
He can answer if he knows.
I don't know that.
So that would be about 3 hours from Gilbert,
I'm gonna
Arizona?
Object
It's
to.
just, the objection's sustained. He didn't know how far it was.
No more questions, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
Just briefly. Sir, you told us that the DEA set up this system for drug trafficking. Is that correct?
Correct.
Does that then have an impact on where cameras are located?
Yes, we specifically try to target drug corridors and drug routes that are utilized by drug trafficking organizations.
So if you thought there might be some drug corridor going through Gilbert, then you might stick a DEA license plate reader there?
Correct, or at least have a law enforcement partner that we will ingest their LPR camera data into diesel.
So would it be, let me ask this, are all license plate readers that you see across the country associated to diesel?
No.
So just because there may be a license plate reader on Gilbert Road, does that mean that it's part of the diesel system?
No, in fact, there's so many different license plate reader programs out there that our program, comparatively to the totality of everything, is very small.
So DEA just ingests or has its own small percentage of cameras.
Yes.
They don't cover every single camera.
No, not at all.
You were asked about if a vehicle is driving in a drug trafficking corridor that the DEA is interested in, that there would be ways to defeat or not, I guess, be captured on these license plate readers. What did you mean by that?
There's definitely ways. They will remove their license plate. They will partially cover a plate. They will change a number temporarily. But a lot of times we will see things that will cover a plate, or at least part of the plate, to make sure that an LPR does not take an image.
And then you said the amount of traffic. So if traffic is busy, is LPR less successful in obtaining all of those vehicles and all of their license plates?
Yes, and depending on the age of the camera, there is a failure rate of the images that are taken by an LPR camera. So if there is a vehicle that is fairly close or tailgating another vehicle, it may not take a picture of the front vehicle.
Ultimately, in this case, what you're able to tell us is that on October 1st of 2019 at about 5:52 a.m., a Jeep Wrangler with a Texas license plate LWD0997 was going westbound on I-40 in Arizona?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. I have no other questions.
Are there any questions for this witness from the jury? I don't see any. Sir, you can step down.
Thank you.
And Judge, can we side